I saw, I conquered. This was the motto of my life. It began when I was a child, and it never stopped. By the time I was 40, I ruled the Roman Empire, but it became too powerful and it cost me my life. I was born in 100 BC in Sabor, Italy, which is a neighborhood in ancient Rome. Among the skills Practitude taught me, reading, writing, and public speaking. Teach me how to use a long spear, short sword, and shield. My father set me up for success in the army where I thrived. Around the age of 17, I married my lovely wife, Cornelia. My career slowly but surely started when I watched the Roman Senate debate. The adventures of my life were just ahead.
Who knew that someone would grow up studying philosophy would end up having to kill for his beliefs? Born in the summer of 85 BC as a Roman citizen of great lineage in the all-powerful Roman Republic, my life was never going to be inconsequential. Did I realize that my decisions would probably change the world for the better but still cause others to remember me as a villain? My name now synonymous with deceiver, meant to be one that meant liberator. My life can be summed up to these three things: my name, my most significant action, and the consequences that unfolded. Born to fulfill a legacy. I knew I had a great name to live up to, being a direct descendant of Lucius Junius Brutus, the famous war hero. I wanted to be a man of the people, not a ruler over them, unlike my ancestors who had his own sons put to death. I tried to seek peace through rhetoric. It was even rumored that Julius Caesar might be my real father, and I was beloved by him as well as the other people. In name usually standing against tyranny, I usually sided with those who were on the right side of an idea of a republic. Caesar gave me the rule over Gaul, making me one of the most powerful men in the country. But personal power is not what I sought, but the glory of Roman's ability to be ruled by law.
My dominant political career began when I was 40. Moving up the ranks in the Roman government, I won the race for consul, which was full of bribery and corruption. Strategically, I formed an alliance called the First Triumvirate. After I conquered Gaul, the First Triumvirate broke apart and a civil war broke out in Rome. Eventually, I defeated Pompey, my ally, in 44 BC. And I was appointed dictator. I was appointed dictator of Rome. I was dictator of Rome for 5 years, which would eventually lead to my death. I felt so confident as dictator of Rome, I appointed myself dictator for life. A few days before March 15th, 48 BC, a soothsayer told me, "Beware the Ides of March." But I dismissed the warning. As I walked through the Senate doors, full of pride because I just achieved my long life goal. Although my friends were acting strange, I didn't think anything of it until they surrounded me and began to stab me. Friends turned into enemies as I felt each stab with the 12-inch daggers. The last stab was the most painful because it was delivered by Brutus, my friend and my close ally.
When Caesar raised himself up, making him synonymous with king, the Senate convinced me that my ally, mentor, and father figure had to fall in order to liberate the people. Since I was so respected, none of the conspirators would have lifted a finger without my approval. It was at the base of the statue of Pompey the Great, on the Ides of March, where Caesar was betrayed by the people that once lauded him, with more than 23 piercings and more than 60 people in the plot. I came face to face with Caesar to get the final gut-wrenching blow. The death of Caesar was not the end, but only the beginning of the end for me. Instead of being seen as liberators, we are now traitors. Caesar's friend Antony would turn out to be my Achilles heel. I had to flee in hopes of one day returning and restoring the government ruled by the Senate. I collected men, weapons, and supplies to stand against Antony and Caesar's nephew, Octavius. Octavius, who later renamed himself Augustus, would go on to be the sole ruler over Rome, which was exactly the reason why he was willing to kill Caesar in the first place. I failed my attempt to stop the inevitable. 2 years after the death of Caesar, the Battle of Philippi, 8,000 men followed me into battle, but I was ultimately defeated by Octavian's army. The only death that seemed honorable at this point was the fall from my own sword.
My early life was adventurous. I was fortunate to be taught skills that would help me in later life. These skills helped propel me to becoming the most powerful person in the world. Deciding to become dictator for life proved to be a deadly decision. I worked hard. I was persistent in achieving my goals in life. My life went from one of betrayal by dominance of the world, but to betrayal by a friend, a betrayal that changed history.
Born with the name of a legend and the expectations of being heroic, my intentions, though honorable, have been forgotten in the act of betrayal. Is all that lingers in the minds and stories.